Alright guys, so we have to end it with Mark Daniels and Zach Norman.
We do.
Oh, I have a feeling what this is.
Memoirs of a Scoutmaster.
What's a memoir?
Don't even worry about it.
Let me tell you a story. A fantastic story. About a place I've come to love. This place is Campfire.
Louder, Scoutmaster.
At Campfire, there was a problem a few years back. In the showers. And the bathroom had returned. Myself being a respectable scoutmaster, with many of my trusty scouts at my back, was forced to clean the bathrooms. With Josh Pike at my side, with the shovel, I left him in camp, and I took two scouts by the name of Tim Estella and Mark Daniel to the quartermaster to retrieve supplies for the cleansing of the bathrooms. Upon entry to the quartermaster's depot, we were greeted by a young lad who had no idea of what we were going up against. I told him I needed supplies for the cleaning of the bathrooms. He gave me replenishing supplies of toilet paper, soap, and everything else. And then I asked him for soap to scrub the floors. See, and when it had come time for him to give me the industrial grade soap to cleanse the floors, he took one of those collapsible water buckets and filled it up about 1 millimeter everywhere. I said, "Boy, do you have any idea what's going on here?" And he said he had no clue. Then I finally just instructed him that the mad crapper had struck again, and to fill the jar up fully with soap. Upon my instruction, he added 6 inches to the soap in the jar. We retrieved some shovels and other digging tools and returned to the bathrooms. We entered the bathhouses. Josh Pike in the lead, with the shovel in his hand. I chose Pike because I didn't like him. Josh shoveled the mess out. And at that time, I entered the bathroom. Surveying the circumstances, I turned to Mark Daniel and I said, "Alright, boys, there's no one here but us and the stink." Since the bathrooms were now vacated of all problems, I had them sprayed with the soap the quartermaster had so reluctantly given me, and hosed it down, inch by inch. And if I ever find that mad crapper, I'll sick my boys on him.
TJ.
That boy cannot lick.
Alright, yeah.
Bueno.
That's very important. Okay, so we tied all these bottles and stuff onto it.
And we concealed it really well so that when he went about 5 miles down the road and hit 40 going around those mountains like he always does, the bottles would fall down. So, the bottles fell down. He was pretty mad about the stuff we had written on the card to begin with. But when he returned to pick us up from taking the Scoutmasters back, it was obvious that he had torn the string. I mean, it was just ripped right off, and we were like, oh my god, he's crazy. At that point, because he had to be so mad. So after... that was so funny. And so he got really mad. And then so we didn't do anything the rest of the day, and we were really good. Then the next day, Sunday, driving home,
Oh my god.
we decided to attach some bottles that he couldn't tear away because we were going to put parachute cord. And we did. And they fell out, and they dragged behind us 50 miles to the next McDonald's. And at the McDonald's, with our former colleague Jeff Sparzak, we retrieved some straws and began making spitballs. We made probably about plastered the inside of the car with spitballs, and at one point he says, the next spitball I see, I'm pulling this car over and you are walking home. When he said that, Jeff decides to take the straw and shoots one. Luckily, Mr. Ritchie didn't notice this one. It hit the dashboard. 10 seconds later, Jeff shot another spitball. It hit Mr. Ritchie in the back of the neck. Mr. Ritchie, I told you, I'm pulling the car over. He pulled the car over.
It dropped us off.
Takes us out of the car. Gets back in, shuts all the doors, and drives off a little ways. And we were just sitting there kind of wondering, what are we going to do now? And Jeff was like, well, maybe we can hitchhike.
No, Mark, you left out the part of why Jeff was in our car. Because Paul's car broke down.
Oh yeah, Paul's car broke down at the McDonald's, so Jeff was in our car.
Because
It's an 85 Mustang, spray paint gray. Anyway, so he pulls over. I know, all night, but he pulls over. I mean, Mr. Ritchie came back like 5 minutes later. He's like, get in the car. I can't leave you here. The liability's too great. Your parents would hit me. So
I was sitting in the front seat, not doing anything.
he
Made
called.
me clean it
He
out.
was like, Jesse, Diet Coke immediately. And so Joe would hand him a Coke, and he
poked
I don't know
it
how
with
he does
his
it, but he
finger.
can open a Coke with one hand, and he'll like pop the thing with his finger.
yeah, it's insane.
I